As someone who's served in the Navy for quite some time, 17 years, and when you come home and you see like, Americans celebrating 4th of July, with 4th of July around the corner, do you feel the freedom that you've contributed, that you've helped protect? Does that make an impact? Do you feel like it has made an impact, your service?
Depending on where I'm at in the nation, yeah.
Yeah.
When you get around really patriotic communities and patriotic parts of the nation, for sure,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the most proud, the most patriotic when I go to different countries and I see the liberties and the freedoms they don't have and how bad they want to come to this country. And then I wish I could encapsulate that and give it to everybody who doesn't appreciate the freedoms we have in this country.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize how we actually got it. Like, some people think that a bunch of people sat around a desk one day and just wrote down this stuff and we just got our independence. That's not how that happened, dude. We had to kill thousands and thousands of people in order to be here, be free in this nation with all these liberties and all these freedoms. Nothing free about it, man. Nothing free about it. And I appreciate it so much more when I get around those people who really do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that understand the sacrifice and they appreciate the time and the violence that had to happen in order for us to have it.
Right. That's the reality.
Yeah, the reality is that brave
Yeah.
men and women had to kill a lot of people for us to be here.
Yeah.
There's nothing free about it. It just didn't happen. It's not just happenstance.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we signed some treaty. Yeah, we got our independence. Like, nope. No. And we are under constant attack, whether they want to believe it or not. There are tens of thousands, millions of people that are trying to take what we have every single day. And the only reason they don't is because of the men and women of the military that will not let them. If we didn't have the strongest military in the world, they would come take it, and we'd be speaking a different language right now. If our
This is true.
forefathers, the greatest generation in World War II, if they had not stood up and said, not today, if they hadn't jumped in those boats and in those planes and went over there and beat the shit out of everybody, we'd be speaking a different language right now. You wouldn't be eating McDonald's, you'd be eating doner kebabs everywhere.
Yeah.
We would. And that's ultimately what they want. People want to take what we have because it is ultimate freedom. And they don't want us to have it. They want what we have. And if we didn't have the greatest military in the world, we wouldn't have any freedom right now. And I hate when I see people sacrifice it or not appreciate it. They just think, I was born here, I'm allotted this freedom from birth. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. Every single day, people are putting their lives on the line to make sure we still have these freedoms when we go to bed at night.
Yeah. What do you think that is? Especially in this day and age, say recent 5-10 years,
I think
this
it's the-
anti-American sentiment
I think
with
it's the
Americans.
same thing we talk about. Reality is not reality until it happens to you.
Yeah.
Until you have to fight for something, until it's taken away from you, until something happens, you're like, man, I didn't realize how good we had it.
Yep.
Trust me, man, I've been all over the place. We all have. And I've seen some terrible, horrific things that people couldn't even stomach. And the only reason that's happening to them and not us is because of the military. It's because of the freedoms we have in this country. We had to fight a lot of people to keep them.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to continue to do that in order to keep the freedom.
It's that big picture. A lot of people who are anti-Americans, Americans themselves, don't necessarily see. Like, someone paid in blood for us to do this,
Uh-huh.
and it's a damn shame when they don't realize it.
Yeah, or they say things, very
Mhm.
unpatriotic things that I can't stomach, I can't stand, and then I just tell them, like, get on a plane and fly anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Fly anywhere else. I mean, you look at places that I'd love to visit. Go to the UK. Go to Australia. Go anywhere else. A lot of the freedoms we have here, they don't have.
They don't.
No. Go over to North Korea and tell them about freedom of speech. Go ahead.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Go to Russia. Talk shit about the president. Like, even, I'm not one way or the other, but if you turn on Fox News, CNN, and you see the stuff they say about the president, try doing that in a different country and watch what happens to you. They'll cut your head off. They'll kill your whole family.
Disappear.
Yeah,
Yep.
they will. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you have. So if you want to be able to say that here, that's because brave men and women have fought and died for your ability to talk nonsense. They gave you that right, but it wasn't free. You didn't get that at birth. Your grandfathers and your forefathers fought for you to have the ability to talk that crazy nonsense. And personally, I don't appreciate it. I really resent it. I just try not to vocalize my opinion too much. But it is absolutely insulting.
Yeah. Such a cliche question, but what are you grateful for as an American?
I'm grateful for the ability to do essentially whatever I want to within some certain guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I can start a business, I can have a family, I can paint my house whatever color I want to, I can vote, I can carry a firearm, I can serve in the military, I can be a cop, I can be a fireman, I can do pretty much any job I want to without anything being forced on my neck. I mean, like the freedoms we have here, I mean, I can wear whatever t-shirt I want to, whatever clothes I want to, whatever shoes I want to. I'm not dictated by anything. I don't have to follow a stringent set of rules. I mean, we have laws in place, but they're not like other places.
No.
I mean, it's pretty lax, man. If you look at the things we're allowed to do in this country, and I don't take any of it for granted now. Maybe I did when I was younger, but once I started to serve and once I started to see the sacrifice people are willing to make for their neighbors, just for people in general.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? Because if not, who would do it? Like, we have to. If you want freedom tomorrow, we have to fight today.
Someone's gotta.
Somebody has to. And, selfishly, I really don't want my kids to have to fight another war, but they're going to have to. I mean, we're going to be under constant attack as long as people still have the ability to attack people. We'll try to take what we have. And this is going to sound messed up, but I don't blame them. I'd want it too. If I lived in one of these countries where I was under a dictatorship and I wasn't allowed to speak freely, have my own thoughts, wasn't able to start a business, they tax me to death and they do this and they do that, and, they don't allow me to be human. I wouldn't want to be there either. That's when you hear people, they sneak across the border. I don't blame them. I don't like it. I don't think you should be allowed to do that, but I don't blame you a bit. You hear about these refugees and people that escaped Vietnam and China and Russia and all these people that are just pouring in this place. I know why you are. I don't blame you a bit, man. I'd want to come here too.
Yeah.
If the roles were just reversed and the UK was the exact same, I'd be trying to get over there as fast as I could, man. Like, how do I get citizenship over there? I don't blame them. I'd want to come here too. And it's worth it. And I say that about, freedom isn't free. The cost is worth it. It is.
Absolutely.
I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. It's the greatest country I've ever been to, and I've been to quite a few at this point.
Yeah. Yes. As someone who grew up partly in the Philippines, moving here, middle school.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely have I feel like sometimes we're more patriotic than some Americans. We're more appreciative.
I'd second that. I'd say a lot of the immigrants in this country are way more patriotic than people that are actually born here because they appreciate it so much more. And you should appreciate it because you've been on both sides of the coin.
Right.
And when those people speak, you hear it. Like, if you ever watched Two Lambs interview with Sean Ryan, those guys fleeing Vietnam. Yeah. Dude, cyanide capsules, ready to commit suicide, anything to not be captured. Like, that's freedom. Like, that's how bad you want to come over here and start a different life and have all the liberties and everything else we provided to you here. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth the sacrifice, man. This is such an amazing country, but it did not happen overnight, and it did not happen by a bunch of dudes sitting around a table.
100%.
Sacrifice must be made.
Sacrifices must be made.
And it's totally worth it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So every time 4th of July comes around, I get super patriotic. I throw on the American flag hat. I throw on a tank top, and I blare the Star Spangled Banner as loud as humanly possible. And every time I hear it, I get an emotional connection. Like, hair stands on the back of my arms, and it doesn't. I never take it for granted anymore, especially now with everything going on, political world and adversaries all over the planet. It's just right now is when we really need to be beating the war drum. This is the greatest country in the world for a reason. I'm super appreciative to be here. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I'm so thankful to be here, man.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Amen.
All right.